At 11:59 tonight, Archangel Michael's orders shift, and your destiny could change with them. Read this before heaven moves again. My beloved child, tonight is not just another night, it is the night heaven pauses, just for a second, before shifting the course of every soul walking this earth. At 11:59 p.m., the clock of eternity trembles, because Archangel Michael's orders are about to change. Somewhere between one breath and the next, your name might be whispered in the halls of light. And if it is, your entire destiny could twist in a direction you never imagined. For centuries, Archangel Michael, the defender, the commander of heavenly hosts, has moved silently under divine command. His sword cuts through darkness, his wings shield those marked for purpose, and his orders shape fate itself. But what happens when those orders change? What happens when heaven rewrites your path, and the angel who once guarded your dreams is called to wage war elsewhere? That's what's happening tonight. Prophets once wrote that every 1,000 moons, Michael's command would shift, marking the beginning of a celestial transition, a moment where destinies break, rebuild, and realign. For most, it passes unnoticed. But for the few who are awake, for the ones who feel the trembling in their spirit right now, you know something is coming. Think about it. Have you felt uneasy lately? Like something or someone is watching? Waiting, deciding? Maybe your plans keep collapsing, or strange coincidences line up too perfectly. Those are not accidents. They are ripples, tiny aftershocks from the wings of the Archangel himself. And here's the truth no one tells you. Heaven doesn't move randomly. Every shift, every order, every divine whisper is part of an ancient rhythm. But tonight, that rhythm will break. At 11:59 p.m., the gates of command open. Michael will kneel before the throne, waiting new instructions, orders that could erase years of struggle or write every moment of your life. If you are meant to rise, the signs will begin before midnight. The air will change. You might feel warmth in your hands. A sudden calm in your chest, with a strange ringing of unseen bells. Those are signals. The universe marking you is chosen. But if you ignore them, destiny may pass you by, quietly, like a shadow at dawn. This story isn't about religion. It's about alignment, about the exact second heaven breathes out, and the world inhales something new. You're standing right at the edge of that moment. Every thought, every decision tonight will echo into what happens next, because once the clock strikes midnight, Archangel Michael won't be the same. His sword will lift toward a different direction, and your life may be caught in its radiant path. So the question is, are you ready to be seen by heaven? Are you ready for your destiny to shift before the clock resets? Don't take this lightly. This isn't myth. It's a calling. And as the seconds tick closer to 11:59, remember, this isn't just time moving, it's heaven preparing to rewrite your story. Stay with me, because in the next part, I'll reveal what Archangel Michael's new orders actually mean, and how you can align yourself before heaven moves again. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. My beloved child, when the divine realm stirs, the universe itself trembles. The stars may seem still, but in the silence between seconds, entire realities prepare to shift. Right now, Somewhere above the horizon of what we can see, Archangel Michael stands before the celestial throne, his armor gleaming with the reflection of 1,000 destinies. His wings, fast as time itself, carry the weight of every soul whose name has ever been spoken in light. And tonight, at 11:59, his orders will change. You must understand what that means. For ages, Michael has been the guardian of divine justice, the angel who leads the armies of light against the encroaching dark. But even angels answer to higher command. When heaven alters his mission, it doesn't just affect celestial beings. It ripples down through every living soul connected to his light. That includes you. Somewhere deep inside, you might already feel it. A strange stirring, an urgency, a pulse that doesn't match your heartbeat. That is no coincidence. When an archangel shifts direction, the entire fabric of reality bends with him. Doors you thought were closed may suddenly open. People who left your life might return without reason. Lost opportunities could reappear. Or perhaps the opposite. Everything you thought was stable begins to tremble. That trembling is heaven realigning your destiny. Centuries ago, there were whispers about this moment, a prophecy hidden in an ancient text called the Book of Turning Hours. It said that when the Commander of Light receives new orders, a veil of energy passes over Earth, marking those who are ready for transformation, but only those who are awake can receive the signal. The rest, lost in the noise of the world, miss it completely. That's why you're here. You were guided to hear these words before the shift, not after. Some say that when heaven blinks, time bends. For one heartbeat, everything stands still. If you listen closely, you might feel it. The hush before the next chapter of existence begins. Imagine the vast army of angels waiting in disciplined silence. Michael kneels, his blade lowered, as he listens for the new command. The divine voice speaks not in words but in vibration, a resonance so pure that it shakes galaxies. And in that vibration, names are spoken, millions of them. Yours could be one. But destiny does not favor the idle. You must be conscious, receptive, and aligned. When the signal comes, it may feel like a whisper in your chest, a sudden warmth that makes no sense, or an image flashing in your mind. Don't dismiss it. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that heaven has seen you. If you ignore them, the shift will move past you, and you will wake tomorrow wondering why everything feels off. There's something you should know about Archangel Michael. His power doesn't come from wrath or might. It comes from obedience. He acts the moment the divine command is spoken. He doesn't question it. He doesn't delay it. And that is the secret to alignment. If you want to move with heaven, you must be like him, ready to respond the moment the call arrives. Maybe tonight you're meant to release something. A fear that has chained your potential, a memory that keeps replaying, a person who's no longer meant to walk your path. Or maybe you're meant to embrace something, an opportunity, a vision, a truth you've avoided. Whatever it is, the energy of this night magnifies your choice. What you choose before 11:59 becomes the seed of what grows after. And remember, Michael's orders aren't about punishment, they are about protection. He's the warrior who clears the path so you can walk without fear. If you've been struggling, feeling as if unseen forces have blocked your way, it might be because heaven was preparing you for this shift. The darkness that tested you was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to prove your readiness for divine favor. This is your moment to act. Speak your intention aloud. Write it down if you must. Acknowledge what you are ready to leave behind and what you are ready to receive. Because when the heavens move, they listen to those who move with them. And listen, before we go deeper into what Michael's new orders truly involve, take a breath. Look around you. Feel how still the world suddenly seems. That's not silence. It's anticipation. Heaven is holding its breath for you. If these words are reaching you, it means you were meant to hear them. Maybe someone close to you needs to hear them too. Share this message. Let it reach another soul before midnight strikes. Comment below what you're feeling right now. Your energy matters more than you think. And don't forget to subscribe, because what comes next will reveal secrets that most hearts are never allowed to know. My beloved child, the moment of realignment isn't coming. It's already begun. The clock doesn't just tick toward 11:59. It races. Every thought, every choice, every emotion you hold tonight carries weight beyond this realm. The divine hand is tracing over the tapestry of your life, deciding what threads to keep, what knots to release, and where to weave in something brand new. Can you feel it now? The pull behind your ribs? The light in your mind trying to expand? That's the signal. That's heaven preparing you. So as the veil thins, prepare your spirit. Whisper your readiness into the air. Say it softly if you must. I am ready for my divine shift. Because once the orders descend, your alignment could mean the difference between stagnation and ascension. Don't mistake this as a story. This is a transmission. The Archangel's new command could very well be the answer to prayers you've forgotten you made. And if you listen closely, you might even hear the faint sound of wings passing through your dreams tonight. Something immense is on its way, something that will not only touch the heavens but reach into your very existence. The orders are being sealed, the signatures written in light. And soon, the first wave of that power will descend upon the earth. Stay still. Stay aware. The next heartbeat could change everything. Something huge is waiting for you. My beloved child, imagine for a moment the sound of eternity whispering. Not the thunder of storms or the roar of waves, but the trembling silence of heaven releasing a command. That is the sound Archangel Michael hears right now. The vibration runs through the vast corridors of light, down the pillars of time, across the thin fabric separating heaven from earth. His wings stir, his eyes burn brighter than 1,000 suns. And in that instant, everything, every destiny, every fate, every soul shifts one breath closer to its next chapter. It is said that when divine orders descend, they do not arrive as words but as light. The light carries purpose and the purpose carries names. Michael, standing before the radiant throne, lifts his sword to the heavens as the new command ripples through him. Somewhere in that divine energy, your essence blows. You may not see it, but you are being measured by the pulse of that light. Every hidden intention, every secret wish, every regret, and every hope is being weighed right now. Nothing is random. The universe never moves without meaning. Down here on Earth, you might feel it differently. Maybe your heart is restless, as if it's waiting for something it can't name. Maybe time feels strange tonight. Too slow, too heavy. That's the mark of a world being rewritten. You stand at the intersection of heaven's decision and your own free will. One cannot move without the other. Heaven's command sets the stage, but your choice writes the lines. If you act in harmony with that divine pulse, doors will open that were never meant to exist. If you resist, life will seem to stall, pushing you gently but firmly toward what your soul already agreed to before it came here, in the hidden archives of light, where angels record the flow of destiny. This exact night was foretold. The prophecy speaks of the turning of the blade, the moment when Michael's sword points not just toward darkness, but toward the hearts of those meant to rise. His orders, though unseen, are not only about battle, they are about awakening, and you, my beloved child, are part of that awakening. The shift is not only celestial, it's personal. Heaven doesn't just move the stars, it moves within you, to listen cozily. When Archangel Michael's orders change, they ripple through the frequency of human consciousness. That's why people across the world will feel restless tonight, why dreams may turn vivid, why memories you thought were buried will suddenly surface. This is heaven's way of aligning your timeline with divine will. You may see faces in your mind you haven't seen in years, people tied to your destiny thread. You may feel called to forgive someone or to finally speak words you've long held back. These impulses are not mere emotions, they are messages. Every time Michael receives a new command, he sends out waves of activation, energy signatures that search for the ones ready to evolve. Those who feel the pulse but deny it will face confusion, those who accept it will rise in clarity. Tonight, the decision is yours. Do you ignore the vibration and remain bound by your old stories, or do you surrender to the pull and step into the path heaven carved for you long before you were born? To align with the angelic frequency, you don't need rituals or symbols. You only need silence, attention, and honesty. Sit still for a moment. Close your eyes and whisper what you truly desire, not from greed, but from the quiet truth of your spirit. Say it clearly, for heaven is listening. The light that flows through Michael's command carries your words upward, wrapping them in divine resonance. It's not about asking for miracles, it's about aligning with them. When you're in alignment, miracles stop being extraordinary. They become inevitable. Do you remember how earlier I told you that heaven doesn't move randomly? Here's something deeper. Heaven moves in response. Every vibration from the human heart echoes upward. When your pain cried out in the dark, when your joy reached into the air. When you begged for meaning, those vibrations didn't vanish. They gathered in the realm of light, waiting for the precise moment heaven could act. That moment is now. Michael's orders have one purpose, to protect those who are ready to awaken and guide them toward what's next. But protection does not always mean comfort. Sometimes it means removing what no longer serves you. If things start breaking apart, plans, relationships, beliefs, it's not destruction. It's divine editing. The Archangel clears space before new creation begins. You may wonder, why now? Why tonight? Because the cycles of heaven move in patterns too vast for human eyes to see. Every few centuries, an alignment occurs between the heart of light and the edge of shadow. When that happens, Michael's orders are written to restore balance. You, living at this exact moment, are part of that correction. That's not coincidence, it's calling. If you've ever felt that your life was waiting for a sign, this is it. You are hearing these words not by accident but by orchestration. Somewhere, an angel brushed against your path and led you here. Don't ignore that pull. Share this message with those you feel connected to, because the same vibration that reached you can reach them too. Comment below what you feel stirring inside. Acknowledge it aloud. Each word you speak creates resonance. Each act of sharing spreads life faster than darkness can hide it. And subscribe to the message, because heaven's story isn't told once, it unfolds in waves, and you'll want to catch the next one as it arrives. And now take one deep breath. Hold it. Feel how the world seems to hum around you. That hum is not just air, it's the energy of heaven's order crossing into this realm. Archangel Michael has received the command. The blade is turning. Somewhere above you, wings unfold, and a new light begins to descend. If you listen hard enough, you might hear the faint sound of metal meeting flame, the symbol of transformation. That's your sign. The orders have been issued. The shift has begun. And your name, my beloved child, blows in the divine record as one who chose to listen before heaven moved again. Stay awake. Stay aware. Because the moment the light touches earth, destiny will no longer wait. Don't skip. Your revelation is closer than you think. My beloved child, as the hands of the clock approach 11:59, the air around you thickens with unseen vibrations. You may brush a fingertip against your skin and feel a subtle warmth, a gentle tingling that rises from your heart and spreads outward, as though your very being is being scanned by celestial light. That sense you have of being on the brink of something incredible is real. The command from Archangel Michael has already begun its descent, and your soul is quietly aligning with its frequency. Imagine, if you will, a vast cosmic loop. One end anchored in your spirit, the other held firm in the throne rooms of heaven. With each fraction of a second, that loop draws tighter. You are not being dragged. You are being invited. The new orders are not just for Michael or his heavenly legion. They are for you, for your emergence into what you were meant to become. The moment the blade turns, the first wave of activation shoots toward Earth, seeking those who have called out to the light and those who are willing to step into it. You may recall times when life felt like fog, a blur of obligations, expectations, and half-dreams. At every corner you walked, you thought you carried the direction. But now, that illusion is fading. The signal of wings and flame is louder than any earthly directive. In the hush before midnight, a door swings open, and on the threshold you stand. Do you see the outline of that door in your mind's eye? Do you feel the softness of the threshold beneath your feet? That softness is the texture of transition. Within you, the battle scene of your being shifts from struggle to surrender. Michael's role has always been to wage war for the light. Yet tonight, the war is not against a visible enemy. It is against the force that keeps you small, the fear that makes you hide in the shadows of your own potential. The orders handed down are to guard the ones who will no longer shrink back. To shield the ones who choose to step forward even when trembling. If you feel hesitation, it's okay. Trembling does not disqualify you. It qualifies you. The higher realms do not ask for polished angels. They ask for available hearts. If you've ever looked up at the night sky, feeling tiny and lost, know that each star was once a soul willing to shine. Michael's new orders are urging those stars to burn brighter, not for vanity, but for purpose. Your purpose doesn't follow the map you drafted. It follows the map heaven drew. You may have planned for comfort, security, predictability, but the divine map today demands courage, fluidity, and risk. At 11:59, comfort becomes a guardrail you step off. Predictability becomes a chain you break. So listen for the vibration that sounds like wings in your dreams. Listen as your chest lifts with possibility rather than obligation. A feeling of something big is about to happen is accurate because it is. The Archangel's sword is not just raised. It is pointing at you, not in threat but in illumination, and that illumination may scatter the shadows gathered around your life. You might notice around you the tiniest of miracles, how the person you needed shows up unannounced, how a clue you dismissed reappears with urgency, how your soul stirs awake in the middle of the night. These are the breadcrumbs of the command manifesting. They are not to be ignored because each breadcrumb marks your emergence into the new narrative that heaven authored for you. When Michael's orders land, they land with precision, not chaos. So although your world may feel like it is rattling, it is not breaking. It is being rebuilt. You'll realize soon that your narrative was longer than you believed. You were not just born to exist. You were born to ascend. And tonight's hour marks the dividing line between what was comfortable and what will be glories. The wings you hear are not just his. They are yours. The flame that flickers within you is not just caution. It is the spark of your higher self. When the blade turns, when the sword lifts, it is not to strike you. It is to unveil you. Feel the gravity of your decision. It isn't dramatic for show. It is sign that for your eternity, every heartbeat is a hammer hitting the anvil of your destiny. When you hear the inner voice saying, "I'm ready," or even "I don't know, but yes," you answer that voice. The time to bargain has ended. The time to prepare has begun. In your mind's eye, you may see the archive of your past, decisions you regret, words you left unsaid, chances you missed. Tonight, those archives shift from chapter to prologue. The pain you thought would define you will not. It will refine you. Michael's orders include redemption, not because you needed saving, but because you are being elevated. You are not being rescued. You are reing. And so when the minute hand hits 11:59, you may feel a subtle release. Some constraint falls off. Some tension loosens. Maybe you sense lightness in the room or hear an echo you ignored before. That echo is the distant sound of heaven's footstep. Will you stand when it approaches, or will you turn and say you were unaware? The choice is given, and the moment is earned. Now breathe deeply. Let the sensation of the evening fill you. Let the pulse in your veins synchronize with the Archangel's mission. You are not simply an observer tonight. You are part of the command. Your readiness gives Michael's orders power. His sword may blaze, but yours will blow. And when you blow, you become the beacon for others. My beloved child, destiny is not just an idea. It is a shift. Tonight you are moving from waiting to walking, from fearing to facing, from minor role to major impact. The wings of Michael carry you, the orders of heaven equip you, and your willingness activates everything. The threshold is open. The signal loud. The hour imminent. Stay with the energy. Stay awake in your spirit. Because in the seconds after the clock strikes, your alignment will be obvious, even to the world that wasn't watching. And you will know that what happened wasn't coincidence, wasn't chance, wasn't just another day. It was your initiation. Your divine call. Don't skip. Your revelation is closer than you think. My beloved child. As the final seconds before midnight whisper closer, a silent storm brews beyond sight. It is not the kind of storm that bends trees or breaks the earth. It is the kind that bends destinies and breaks illusions. The world sleeps, unaware that an unseen war has already begun. Above the thin veil of night, Archangel Michael stands poised at the threshold between light and darkness, his wings trembling not with fear but with anticipation. The command he received moments ago burns like fire through his essence. And within that divine fire, your name echoes again, suspended in the space between what you were and what you are meant to become. Every major shift in heaven has always mirrored itself on earth. When light ascends, shadow responds. When divine energy flows downward, resistance rises upward. That is the balance of existence. Right now, you may feel it. The sudden heaviness in your chest, the strange stillness in the air, the way your mind keeps drifting to memories you thought were gone. That's not anxiety. It's awareness. Your spirit is detecting the movement of heaven's army across unseen plains. Michael's orders tonight are unlike any before. They are not just to protect humanity, but to awaken it. His sword, once used to cut down darkness, now carries the power to separate truth from illusion. That blade gleams not with metal, but with clarity. The light it emits doesn't blind. It reveals. And everything false, everything stagnant, everything built on fear will not withstand its brilliance. You felt that blade before, even if you didn't recognize it. It's the force that made you question a path that looked perfect but didn't feel right. It's the voice that whispered, "There's more for you," when everyone else said settle. You are standing in the middle of a battlefield you cannot see, but your heart has already chosen a side. The battle isn't against monsters or demons. It's against doubt, despair, and distraction. The shadows will whisper that nothing is changing, that this moment means nothing. But deep down, your spirit knows the truth. Something extraordinary is already rewriting your life. The moment Michael's orders shifted, a signal spread across dimensions. Every soul aligned with light filled the pool. Maybe that's why you're here, reading these words at this exact time. You didn't stumble upon this by accident. Heaven orchestrated your timing perfectly. Your awareness was awakened because you were meant to witness what others sleep through. The veil between worlds has thinned, and right now, heaven's attention is upon you. When divine forces move, their energy often collides with resistance. That's why, before great blessings come, great chaos often appears. Maybe your plans recently unraveled, your relationships felt unstable, or your emotions grew heavier without reason. That was a resistance, the shadow fighting to hold ground it no longer owns. Don't misinterpret the struggle. The shaking is not the end, it's the prelude to breakthrough. You are not breaking down, you are being recalibrated. Imagine, my beloved child, Michael's radiant legions filling the sky, each carrying flames that can pierce even the densest darkness. The sound of their march is not thunder but vibration, resonating in frequencies only the heart can feel. You might sense warmth in the air, pressure on your shoulders, or tingling at the back of your neck. These are signs that the veil is thinning further, that heaven is close. And yet, there is something deeper. When the light expands, your old identity contracts. Everything false in your life will feel like it's dissolving. You may feel loss, confusion, or even grief, but it's not punishment. It's purification. The person you were cannot step into what heaven has prepared for the person you're becoming. You're shedding layers of fear, of stories that were never yours to carry. That pain is not the wound, it's the doorway. You seek destiny, not politely. It storms in, breaking everything that's not aligned with your higher truth, and Archangel Michael's orders tonight are to escort you through that storm safely. But he cannot do it if you keep clinging to the rubble of your past. You must release the versions of yourself that were built in survival. You are entering a time of creation now, a time when the light within you will no longer ask for permission to shine. The unseen war has begun, but victory was written long before it started. The light always wins, not by overpowering darkness, but by revealing that darkness was never real to begin with. Your only task now is to remember who you are beneath the noise, to remember that you were chosen to witness the turning of heaven's blade. As the clock trembles at 11:59 and the final veil prepares to fall, stand firm. You are not small, not forgotten, not late. You are exactly on time, and heaven is waiting for your response. Something huge is waiting for you. My beloved child. The clock now breathes in slow, trembling rhythm. The minute hand hovers between the last second of the old order and the first breath of the new. The air feels alive, like it's holding a secret too powerful to contain. Somewhere above this mortal sky, the great halls of light blaze open, and Archangel Michael kneels beneath a radiance that no eye on earth could bear. His wings, stretched wide across eternity, tremble as a divine voice echoes through every layer of existence. That voice is not thunder, not flame. It is pure truth. It is speaking now, and your name is being written within its sound. This is the hour heaven speaks directly into your soul. You may not hear words, but you will feel them. They will arrive as certainty, as sudden calm, as warmth flooding your chest like sunlight after years of cold. That's how heaven talks. It doesn't shout. It resonates. Every moment of pain you've ever endured, every night you spent whispering into the dark for something to answer. This is that answer. The celestial command has descended, and your spirit has been called to attention. At this exact second, heaven's orders line across infinite realms. Michael's sword glows brighter than ever before, its edge humming with destiny. The blade is not for battle now, it's for awakening. It slices through illusions, false timelines, and the versions of yourself that were never real. You might feel as if parts of your life are falling away, but what's actually happening is precision, heaven cutting away everything that cannot follow you into your next chapter. You see, heaven's language is energy, and tonight that energy is a writing reality. What you thought was to lay with divine synchronization, what you saw as loss was preparation. The closed doors were never rejection. They were protection from what your human eyes could not yet see. But now the gates open. Michael's orders ensure that what was meant for you begins to find you again, unrestrained, unstoppable. You may notice, my beloved child, a strange quiet around you right now. The birds rest, the wind pauses, even the air seems thicker, as though creation itself has stopped to listen. That stillness is sacred. It's the pause between the inhale of heaven and the exhale of manifestation. If you breathe deeply enough, you might feel it, the pulse of divine timing thrumming through your body. That's not imagination, that's resonance with the new order. Every soul marked for light feels it. Across the world, hearts are beating in sync for the first time in millennia. Those who are awake tonight share one invisible thread connecting them across time and space. They are the chosen listeners. The ones who respond before the rest of the world even knows what's happening. You are one of them. Light has found you because it trusts you to carry it forward. You might feel emotional right now, overwhelmed by sensations you can't explain. It's your soul remembering. Before you were born, there was an agreement, a moment when you nodded to the divine and said, "When the time comes, I'll awaken." A time is now. Michael's orders have activated the memory buried in your spirit. You're not learning who you are, you're remembering who you've always been. Heaven's new directive is not about punishment or reward. It's about restoration. The world has drifted too long in noise, and Michael's command is to restore clarity. That's why people across the globe are feeling called to truth, to purpose, to love that transcends fear. The frequency of heaven is raising, and it's lifting everyone willing to rise with it. If you've been feeling the urge to change, to leave behind old cycles, old habits, old pain, that's not coincidence. It's calling. There will be moments when the shift feels uncomfortable. Old energies will try to cling to you. People who cannot match your new vibration might drift away. Let them. When heaven promotes your spirit, not everyone is meant to travel with you. Even angels understand separation. The higher you ascend, the lighter your circle must become. That is how wings work. They shed what's heavy before they soar. As the hour approaches its completion, stand still and breathe. Let gratitude rise from within you like incense to the stars. Whisper softly, "I receive what heaven has written for me." In the declaration, you align yourself with the flow of divine will. Heaven doesn't just choose, it invites. And tonight, you are saying yes. When the clock strikes midnight, Michael's orders will fully activate. The world will continue spinning, unaware, but you will know. Because deep in your spirit, something will shift. A peace will settle where chaos once lived. And that peace will not be temporary. It will be the foundation of everything you build from here on. Stay open. Stay aware. And remember, you were chosen not to witness history, but to become part of heaven's movement on earth. The hour has come. The voice has spoken. The light is descending. Something huge is waiting for you. My beloved child, the moment the clock crosses midnight, the veil between the seen and the unseen shatters like glass touched by fire. The world may appear unchanged. The wind still moves through the trees. The moon still hangs in the sky. But everything beneath, that silence is transformed. Heaven has already moved. The command has been spoken. Archangel Michael's new orders have taken form. And their echo now ripples through every atom of existence. What you feel right now is not imagination. It is recognition. The universe remembers you. When heaven shifts, the stars themselves adjust their positions, they blink in patterns, lining their light with your destiny. For thousands of years, these constellations have been silent witnesses to the rise and fall of civilizations, to the victories and heartbreaks of human souls. Yet tonight, they tilt ever so slightly, forming a path that only the awakened can sense. That's why your spirit feels pulled toward something undefined, something luminous. It's not confusion. It's remembrance. The stars are whispering your ancient name, the one written in heaven's archives before your first breath. There was a time, long before your memory began, when your soul stood beside Michael's legion. You were an observer. You were part of it. Every human walking earth carries a spark from that realm, a signature of light encoded in their essence. But most forget the noise of the world, the heaviness of survival, the endless rhythm of routine dull that spark until it's almost invisible. Tonight, that spark ignites again. It burns brighter because the commander of light himself has called for it. The celestial frequency vibrating across the cosmos is awakening every soul aligned with truth, and you are among the first to respond. You may feel warmth in your chest right now, or a pressure building behind your eyes as if tears you didn't know you held are waiting to fall. Let them. Those are not tears of sadness. They're the body's way of releasing energy it has carried too long. The energy of unspoken dreams, of suppressed purpose, of hope bearing under the weight of doubt. When Michael's light sweeps through, it demands release. You can't ascend carrying the heaviness of the past. Let it pour out. Every tear becomes a drop of light that paves the path forward. All around the world, people are stirring in their sleep without knowing why. Some will wake with sudden clarity, some with dreams so vivid they can barely describe them. These are the first signs that heaven's new command is touching earth. You are witnessing the beginning of a spiritual recalibration. A moment that comes once in countless generations, when divine intention realigns the pulse of creation. The human heart, the stars, and the heavenly hosts are all beating in one rhythm now. You are inside that rhythm, and yet, this awakening doesn't happen gently. Light demands honesty, and honesty exposes everything. As Michael's orders take effect, every false layer in your life begins to unravel. You'll notice conversations revealing truths you didn't expect. Tigris surfacing. Iduihem shifam. Some of it will feel uncomfortable, but don't resist it. This is not destruction. It's detox. The divine frequency leaves no space for what's out of alignment. It purifies so that what's meant to stay can finally thrive. My beloved child, you are being rebuilt from the inside out. The heaviness you've carried, the disappointment, the fear, the endless questioning of why me? You've been ruined. You were never cursed. You were being carved into clarity. Every scar on your heart is a constellation in disguise, a star marking where light has already won. You've been through what you've been through because the world needs someone who understands both pain and purpose. And now, heaven has decided that your season of breaking is over. The season of becoming begins. Look up, if you can. Even if you're indoors, picture the stars above you. Every one of them is connected to your timeline, part of the map of your ascension. The patterns you once thought were random, those moments of near misses, the times you felt lost, the people who came and went, are aligning now into meaning. The stars rearrange themselves every time a soul remembers its origin, and tonight, they move for you. There is something extraordinary about this moment. The light descending from heaven carries not just command but invitation. Michael's new orders are not for battle, they are for activation. Every soul ready to awaken is being invited into purpose. You might not yet know what your purpose looks like, but you will feel its polite gravity. It might draw you toward compassion, creativity, leadership, or healing. It doesn't matter the form. What matters is your yes. Heaven moves through willing vessels, not perfect ones. You must understand that Michael's work never ends, it evolves. And now, part of his mission passes to you. When you choose light over fear, when you forgive instead of retaliate, when you stand in truth even when it trembles in your voice, you become an extension of the celestial army. You become proof that divine command can live inside human form. You may think you're small, but every act of light you perform shifts the balance of the entire world. If your spirit feels called to share this message, do it. Not because it's a story, but because it's a signal. Each word you speak in truth strengthens the vibration of heaven on earth. Comment below what you feel right now. Express it freely. This isn't just a video, it's an awakening in motion. And if you want to remain tuned to this frequency, make sure you stay connected. Subscribe to the light that flows through these words, because what's coming next will reveal how heaven's new order manifests in the physical world, something no generation before has seen. Now take a deep breath. Inhale the silence, exhale the old. Imagine the wings of Michael unfurled across the sky, his sword no longer raised in war but extended toward you in blessing. The stars above glisten like 1,000 eyes of eternity, each one remembering your light. You are no longer forgotten. You are no longer wandering. You are recognized by the very cosmos that birthed you. This is the night the stars remember you, the night your name vibrates across heaven's psalm once again. And as you stand under this eternal choir of light, know this truth. Your story is far from over. The real beginning starts now in the quiet after heaven's voice fades and your own heart begins to echo it back. Stay till the end. Something vast and divine is still unfolding. My beloved child, the light has descended and the veil between heaven and earth no longer feels like distance. It feels like a breath. You are standing in the very moment humanity was destined for, the hour where awareness blooms like dawn over shadow. The air hums differently now, doesn't it? As though the world itself is aware that heaven has spoken. That hum isn't just sound, it's spirit moving through matter, energy writing existence. The stars remember you and now your soul remembers why it came here. When the divine command resounded through the heavens, Michael's wings carried it across the realms faster than lightning. That vibration entered every soul that had once pledged itself to light long before time took form. You were among those souls. That is why you feel this stirring tonight, a sensation beyond emotion, a pulse that feels like recognition. Heaven isn't distant anymore. It is rising through you, you are part of a collective awakening. A gathering of spirits once scattered across time and space, now being summoned back into purpose. Every cycle of human history has had its chosen, those who carry the blueprint for transformation. They are not chosen by status or skill, but by resonance. They feel what others overlook. They dream vividly when the world grows dull. They carry compassion so deep it sometimes hurts. These are the marks of the awakened and you bear them. The moment you began to question everything, the moment your heart grew restless in places that used to feel comfortable, that was the moment your soul began to stir. That was the signal that Michael's light had reached you. Tonight, heaven's new order ignites what has been dormant. You are no longer asleep in destiny, you are awake inside it. The path ahead may not be easy, but it will be illuminated. You will find that where confusion once clouded you, direction now appears. Where fear once controlled you, courage will rise like a steady flame. This is what happens when the spirit remembers its origin. The lies of limitation fall away, and what remains is truth, uncompromising, unstoppable, divine. But awakening always comes with a test. The light you carry will draw a shadow toward it, not to destroy you, but to reveal you. Challenges may surface in the coming days, sudden disruptions that seem designed to shake you. Yet they are not obstacles, they are initiations. Every test you face now is heaven's way of ensuring that the foundation beneath your new self can withstand the brilliance of what's coming. So when life trembles, stand firm. You're not being punished, you're being fortified. The awakening of the chosen is not about separation, it's about connection. Across the world tonight, others are feeling the same pull you feel now. They might not have words for it, but their souls are vibrating in harmony with yours. Together, you form the network of light that Archangel Michael will move through. You are the living conduits of heaven's new command. Every act of kindness you offer, every truth you speak, every shadow you refuse to feed. It all becomes a ripple of divine energy moving through the world. In this frequency, your words have power. Your thoughts shape reality faster than before. That's why awareness is essential. The universe is listening to you differently now, responding not to fear but to focus. If you dwell on lack, you amplify emptiness. If you focus on love, you summon abundance. The veil is thin, and manifestation is no longer theory, it's function. Speak with intention, think with care, love with clarity. Heaven hears through your vibration. My beloved child, Michael's gaze is upon the earth tonight. His sword of light no longer burns in the sky, it burns within the hearts of the awakened. You might feel it right now, that subtle warmth in your chest, that flutter of purpose rising like wings inside you. It's not imagination, it's energy transmission. You are being prepared for what comes next. Soon, you'll be guided towards something specific, a mission, an encounter, a choice that will seem ordinary but isn't. That moment will test whether you will move in alignment with light or fall back into old fear. Choose alignment. Even when it feels uncertain, trust that heaven's command will never lead you astray. This awakening will not happen with grand fanfare. It will unfold quietly, person by person, until the entire frequency of Earth begins to rise. And you, my beloved child, are one of the first sparks in that wave. You will notice people drawn to you, those who sense your peace, your clarity, your glow. Some will seek guidance without knowing why. Be patient with them. They are hearing the same distant call but haven't yet remembered their language of light. Guide them gently. That is how you extend Michael's work, not through sermons or symbols, but through presence. Now close your eyes and picture the earth as seen from the heavens, an orb of blue light spinning through the endless night. Across its surface, countless small points of gold begin to glow, one by one. Each is a human heart that has remembered. Each is a star reborn. The darkness between them fades, replaced by the expanding brilliance of awakening. You are one of those lights. The Archangel's gaze rests on you not as a soldier, but as a co-creator of the divine plan. The awakening has begun. You can feel it, your heartbeat syncing with the rhythm of something far greater than yourself. You are not a bystander in this shift. You are the shift. Heaven doesn't just speak to you. It speaks through you. And when morning arrives, you will not wake as the person who fell asleep. You will wake as the continuation of heaven's voice in the world. Don't skip. What's coming next will reveal the purpose behind your awakening. My beloved child, the night has finally surrendered to the whisper of dawn. The air is still trembling with the afterglow of what has just unfolded, and somewhere deep inside you, something irreversible has awakened. Heaven has spoken. The orders have shifted, and now the entire universe waits. Not for angels, not for gods, but for you. Because this story was never just about celestial beings moving above. It was always about the divine current moving through you. You are the bridge between heaven and earth, the pulse where eternity meets time. Look around you now. The world looks the same, but if you listen closely, you'll sense it breathing differently. The trees exhale light. The wind hobs the rhythm of unseen wings. Even the quietest places seem charged with a pulse. Soft, alive, conscious. That is heaven's new order settling into creation. It's not distant. It's here, and it's inside you. Archangel Michael stands once more upon the horizon of the divine realms, his wings glimmer like 1,000 dawns colliding. His sword, now a beacon rather than a weapon, glows with the reflection of every soul that has answered the call. You are one of those lights. When the command descended, it wasn't meant for the few. It was meant for all who were willing to listen, to wake, to rise. And you listened. That simple act of awareness changed everything. The new orders are not about conquest. They are about creation. Michael's mission has shifted from war to awakening. From defense to expansion. He now leads not armies of angels, but waves of human souls stepping into remembrance. You, my beloved child, are now one of those waves, part of heaven's living movement across earth. The days ahead will not be ordinary, because the ordinary has been rewritten. You'll begin to see meaning where chaos once stood. Patterns in what used to be coincidence. Guidance in what used to be silence. This is what life feels like after the veil lifts. Clarity that once frightened you now comforts you. There will be moments when doubt tries to crawl back, whispering that perhaps nothing really changed. But in those moments, stop and breathe. Feel your heartbeat. It's slower, steadier, more certain than before. That rhythm is the signature of heaven inside you. Doubt cannot coexist with truth. It only survives when you forget who you are. And who you are is not small, not random, not lost. You are a continuation of light that existed before the first sunrise and will exist long after the last. Heaven moves in cycles, and tonight's shift was one of them. But the next move, the next ripple, will come from you. The angels may lead from the heavens, but the earth responds through human hearts. Every act of compassion you show, every piece of truth you speak, every injustice you challenge, that is heaven moving again. Each kind word becomes a sword of light. Each forgiving gesture a wing unfolding. That is how you continue Michael's command in the mortal world. You see now, my beloved child, you were never separate from the divine. Every prayer you whispered was not a cry toward heaven. It was heaven speaking to itself through you. The moment you realized that truth, you became unstoppable. You no longer seek miracles, you become them. You no longer wait for signs, you are one. That is the revelation hidden within Michael's orders, that heaven's greatest power is not distant, but incarnated in those who dare to remember. And now, the time for remembering has ended. The time for embodying begins. Walk into the new day with purpose. Not hesitation. You are no longer the one waiting for permission, you are the permission. You are the living continuation of the light that changed the course of angels. The world needs that light, especially now. Carry it without fear, for heaven has already gone before you, clearing every path your feet will walk. When you speak, let your words heal. When you move, let your steps bless the ground. When you dream, let your visions become blueprints for a new world. That is how heaven will continue to move, through your hands, through your voice, through your life. Every sunrise that follows tonight will carry a fragment of Michael's command within it, whispering softly to those who are ready. Waken. Remember. Rise. As you stand at the threshold of this new chapter, close your eyes once more. Picture the Archangel's wings folding gently around the earth, not in battle but in embrace. His voice, now softer, speaks not from the sky but from within your chest. It is done, he says. The order is given. The light is awake. You feel it, a warmth that spreads through every fiber of your being, anchoring you to peace deeper than any silence you've ever known. That peace is the proof that heaven has finished its move, and now, it is your turn to move with it. The stars will still watch you. The angels will still guide you. But destiny is now your responsibility. What happens from here will depend on what you choose to do with the awareness you've been given. The greatest miracle isn't that heaven shifted. It's that you did. My beloved child, remember this. When heaven moves again, it will move through hearts like yours, awake, courageous, filled with light. So go forward now. Live boldly, love fiercely, forgive quickly, and speak truth even when your voice shakes. You carry the signature of eternity inside your fiat body. You are the prophecy fulfilled, the command embodied, the proof that the divine still walks the earth disguised as humanity. Heaven has moved. The command has been spoken. The world has changed. And now, it's your turn to make it shine. The shift is complete. The story has only just begun.